everyone, it's Amy Astro here and welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I am Amy and I do tutorials with Pix and Sight. I build telescope rigs and I do gear reviews and so much more, and a lot of this channel is about what you ask me and I do my best to answer your questions. So today we're going to continue on our journey with the new QHY268 mono camera. Now last week you guys got to see the big old unboxing video. This week I am kind of a little bit on hold with my filter wheel situation. QHY is going to send me a filter wheel to try to mate up to this because they say that's the only one that'll work with it. But you guys know me by now that I am going to try my ultimate best to get different manufacturers to work together as a team. So I am still every intent of attempting to get the QHY camera to connect to a ZWO filter wheel. Why? Because I already own this, it's already set up, and this is what a lot of us have. And really, when you start looking at the price of a camera and a filter wheel, it adds up very, very quickly. So if you already have one manufacturer set up, it's really hard to want to go try another manufacturer out and see how well they do when you have to buy both parts. So I have an adapter on order, and like everything else in the Astro world, it is on back order. Now it was not intended for this purpose, but I hope it might work, and I do plan on trying that. So let's get on with this week's video of talking about what can I do in the meantime while I wait for everything to catch up to. First things you like to do when you get a camera is, one, you need to load up the drivers from the manufacturer, and two, you need to take your dark frames. And since I've got nothing but cloudy skies right now, this is a good opportunity for me to go ahead and do that. So today my plan is to load up the QHY driver onto the mini PC that's sitting here on my Raven scope, which is the Explorer 102, the ED102, the FCD 100 glass, so it's the good glass. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the QHY website and we are going to download their driver. Now I did this last night and I haven't loaded it onto this computer, but let me tell you what I ran into so you all are prepared. I'm on a PC, I use Google Chrome as my web browser, and I use Malwarebytes as my virus protection software. And when I go to the QHYCCD.com website, it came up with a Malwarebytes warning, possible Trojan, don't go there, bad website and everything. But wait a second, I had been to this website not but a week or two prior with no problem. And I had also been to this website using my Mac going through Safari with the same virus protection software. So it just felt just a little bit weird, and I figured maybe there were some licensing issues going on between Google and QHY right now. There could have been an update. I don't know, I'm not going to get that deep into it. But when I'm told that there might be a Trojan on a website, I do take extra precautions. So what I ended up doing is I went to an old laptop that serves really nothing. It's a basic brick. It can get onto the internet. And it does have virus protections, but like I said, it's basically a brick. And if I'm going to ruin a computer, that's the computer I want to ruin. So I went ahead and said, okay, let me get through to their website. And I told Malwarebytes it was okay, let me through. Got there and I downloaded the driver that I needed and I put it on a flash drive. I ran Malwarebytes through the file that I downloaded and made sure it was valid and okay to use, and it found no problem whatsoever. So I have their driver downloaded on this little thumb drive, and now I'm going to take this thumb drive, put it into my mini PC that is on the Raven here, and that's how we're going to go ahead and get our driver loaded up. So I'm going to take you over to the PC in the next room, and we're going to remote over to this one here that is connected via Ethernet to my router just to save speed and everything. And we're going to load up this driver right now for you. And then I hope to get it set up using Sequence Generator Pro, and we will get some dark frames. All right, guys, so I have remoted into the Raven telescope, as you can tell by my desktop background of choice here. And I have the thumb drive in that PC, and let's go ahead and locate the file that I downloaded from QHY. What I downloaded was the QHY Windows All-in-One, and it is their latest and greatest driver. Okay, so I'm going to double click it, and let's go ahead and install it on the mini PC that is on the telescope. All right, we're going to go ahead and say yes, let it download. Okay, before continuing, please do the following first. Close all camera connections, applications, and disconnect any QHY device cable. Nothing has been connected so far. In fact, the camera has not even been powered up yet. All right, so we are going to go ahead and hit next. I'll put it in that file folder, next. And don't create start menu. I'm going to go ahead and let it create it, and we'll hit next. Oh my goodness, look at all these. Select the additional tasks you would like set up to perform while installing the QHY all-in-one task. Drivers, broadcast, I don't know what any of that stuff is. Definitely the ASCOM driver. I already own SharpCap, so I don't need that, and I haven't quite figured out the SkyX, so I'm going to stick with the defaults and say next and install. All right, so let's see. Please disconnect USB for QH driver camera while installing. I guess it wants it to do it again. Let's say next and next. Oh my goodness, look at all those QHY cameras. I don't own any of these. For installed drivers, please keep them selected if you want to retain them. That's odd. I don't even see the camera that we're about to use in here, but this is the beta driver that they told me to install for this camera. I'm just going to go ahead and let them all roll through, and we will install, cross our fingers, and see what happens. Would you like to install this device software named QHY268m Astro Imaging Equipment? Yes, Lightspeed Vision. I'm going to go ahead and trust you, and we will say install. And QHY also makes the PoleMaster, so it is a pretty good company to work with. And we all love using the PoleMaster. It has saved my behind many a times out there on the field, especially when I was just starting out. I'm going to accept their license agreement. And I'm ready to begin installing, so let's install. Pretty straightforward as far as a driver would go. And we are finished. No, we're not. We're going to hit next again. Fill out the form carefully. We'll get additional warranty period of 6 months. All right, so hang on while I install all of this. Nation. What nation am I in? I mean, I'm in the United States. My agent? All right, guys, come on. You're getting me a little bit confused here. Give me some pull downs. Surprise, if you fill in this page content and send email success, you will receive additional warranty period of 6 months. Thank you for your support. Well, if I knew what nation and agent is, it would be much easier. I'm going to risk it, guys. I'm going to hit next. You guys know what this is all about? Please leave it in the comments below. Oh, maybe I'm part of the alien nation. I'm not quite sure here. Completing the QHY268m Windows all-in-one setup. Open the folder, show all ASCOM platform drivers included. All right, show me. Finish. Okay, that was anticlimactic. And so was that one. Let's just go ahead and close these out and move right along with what we really want to see. Will the QHY connect up to SGP? But you know what I have to do first? First, I need to connect the power and connect the USB cable, so I'll be right back in a moment. All right, folks, so now it's time for me to connect power to this for the very first time. And what's unusual about this power is one is threaded in so it won't fall out the end of the camera, which is a nice touch, but honestly, I've never had one fall out of the end of the camera before. But then they give me a female end to this. Now this is intended to connect to their power brick and use their power supply. But if you guys are like me, you have power supplied on your telescope rig or nearby via Pegasus Astro Ultimate Power Box or the Pocket Power, or through Anderson power poles and stuff. So what I have found out is the 2.5 millimeter connector that I've already got that was connected to the back of the ZWO, it will connect into their female plug perfectly, rather snugly. And then I'm just going to connect power to this. Now let's hold our breath and pray that we keep the smoke in the box, but they are rated the same, so it should be just fine. And the fan is starting up. I'm going to go ahead and lock this down. All right, we got fan. No little dummy lights on here, but I can definitely hear that it is running. And I will reuse the same, since it's already bundled, we like bundles, USB 3 cable that I was already using, and I will connect it to the camera. Just that easy. Okay, there is a green light going on in this side there. Hopefully it won't put too much green light out on the field, but it's got to get through the fans to get there. So here we are plugged in. Now I'm going to go back over to the PC and see if Sequence Generator Pro can find its ASCOM driver. All right, now that we have our power set up and the camera is up and running, let's see how well it is running here. Let's go over to our device tab here. And I'm going to right mouse click on here and we're going to go to Device Manager. I just want to make sure that the computer is seeing it before I try to struggle through a program looking for it. And I have Astro imaging equipment. Check that out. QHY53 series IO. So I bet you that is my camera. And of course the ZWO, well, that one is connected also, but this is for my guiding. So it's interesting that they have their own category, Astro imaging equipment. Let's go ahead and open up Sequence Generator Pro and see if it talks to it. Now, if many of you guys follow the other YouTubers out there that are currently using this camera, we already know that it successfully works with Nina using their native driver, which is great. Sequence Generator Pro has not gone the native driver route. They stick with using the ASCOM, but it is great to have choices, okay? All right, let's go to Tools, Equipment Profile. Let's create ourselves a new profile. I am going to cheat. I do cheat. I'm going to grab this Explorer Scientific on the 1600 monochrome with the Nightcrawler and Point X reducer, which is all I'll still be using, except I'll swap out the camera. We're going to start with this one. I am going to go over here to the camera, hit the pull down menu, and see if QHY hangs up in here. Okay, there's a couple. Capture, camera 2 capture, CCD camera. All right, I'm going to claim the capture one because that's going to be what I'm going to attempt to do, is have it being my capture camera. And since I've made this one change here, let's go ahead and change the name of my profile. And let's call it QHY monochrome. And let's go ahead and save it. Now what I need to do is change all of these specs out to match the QHY one. And many of you guys know I like to use OneNote to store all of my information needed. So let's get OneNote over here. All right, here's OneNote off the screen somewhere. Shrink them up some. All right. What I did is I did a screen copy of all of their specs so I don't have to constantly look it up. We've got their pixel size of 3.76. So let's go ahead and, do they want my pixel size in there? It goes somewhere. Okay, it doesn't go there yet. Okay. What's the next number I need? I need my effective image area, 6280. So let's go ahead and type in 6280. And the next number is 4210. 4210. All right, it wants to know what is my image scale. I don't have a picture taken with this where I could look that up in the FITS header. But what I do have is access to the almighty internet and Astronomy Tools website. And I typed in on the imaging tab my Explorer Scientific and their details. And here's the QHY268. And it has the same camera, the same pixels with the 0.8x reducer. This resolution here, that is my scale, 1.36. Okay, that's seconds per pixel, so I'm going to put in 1.36. Now you notice that really was not any different than my ZWO1600 camera. Now readout noise, I don't always change this one, but let's see if it is in here. Okay, let's scroll up and there's information here. Read noise is 1.1 E minus. Okay, so instead of 1.2, it's 1.1. And that's it. Now settings this can go back to 0. It just happened to be the last time I was doing this, my rotator was at 336 degrees. I am going to also cool this camera down to minus 10 degrees Celsius. Now as far as filters go, today I am still on a ZWO filter wheel. This may change in the future, but if we get the adapters working, then we will use this filter wheel and roll with it. So all I need to do now is save my profile, say OK, and let's create ourselves a brand new sequence here. File, new sequence with profile, so let's choose the new one we just created, which is going to be this Explorer Scientifics with the QHY, and say OK. And it will give me a nice new sequence to start with. And we are going to start taking pictures with the camera and get our dark frames. Now currently the camera is not connected to the telescope. In fact, it has the lens hood connected to it because I just want dark. So let's go ahead and let's see what the camera settings are for the QHY. All right, here's a nice new screen to look at. Please choose one camera to connect. The connected camera it found was the 268M. Presets, deep sky object, planetary, or a whole bunch of undefineds. Okay, we have a gain of 102 and offset of 72. Appears to be their default. What do they say for planetary? Like there. Let's go to deep sky object. Now the gain, I was expecting it to be at about 56 based on what I've seen other people using. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at the default and see how that works. Bin mode, I stick with 1 by 1. I've never tried these others. USB traffic speed, I'll bump that up to 2. And advanced, remove overscan area. I don't know what that is, so we will have to find out. Read mode, photographic deep sky object, high gain mode, extended full well. Oh, let's use the high gain mode. Now that's strange. I'm using this, but I expected to see this gain offset number to change. So when I take my first image, we will find out what the gain and offset are. So let's go ahead and say OK. And we're going to go ahead and connect the camera for the first time and see how it's doing. All right, it says we are connected. Let's go ahead and take one 6-second image and just make sure it is working the way I want it to. All right, there is my first image with the lens cap on. It is automatically stretched. What does the histogram look like on it? There it is down there. Auto stretch is on high. Let's take one more with auto stretch on low. It's actually quite bright, a lot brighter than I expected it to be, and that could be on the high gain mode. All right, see it's downloading, and there it is, a much darker image. Let's zoom in. And typical with what you see with these cameras is you do get the hot pixels will show up, and these will all calibrate out. That's why we are taking them. But what I want to look at here is, do we have any amp glow going on in the corners? And I don't see any amp glow, but this is at a 6-second image. So let's go ahead and do a 2-minute image. We'll pause the video and we'll come back when it's taken and see if we have any glow. All right, folks, we have our single 2-minute image here, and so far I don't see any hint of any odd glowing anywhere here. Let's go to the corners and let's do a full checkout of this image. We'll start in the top left. Now, I do have a line here, which is making me wonder if I have a dead column worth of pixels on this particular camera. That is a little bit concerning. Now, if it is truly a straight line, then I should be able to calibrate that out. It's just a little bit trickier. But let's go over here to the other corner and take a look at it. I do see more hot pixels than I truly would have expected to see. When I get over here to that corner, there's nothing going on over there, and nothing going on over there. And let's go for the lower left corner. Okay, the only alarming thing I see here is this row of possible dead pixels. That's not typically something I would see on a camera. It's not something that I really want to see on the camera, and I will talk to QHY about that. But let's go ahead and compare this, okay? Because that's what we're trying to do here, is what would a 2-minute dark look like for QHY and ZWO. All right, folks, so I've taken that frame and focus file and I've transferred it over to PixInsight just so we can give it the same stretch as what I have for a ZWO 2-minute image. And this right here is the QHY version here. It is pretty even across. There's no amp glow. There's no vignetting in the corners going on here. There are quite a few of hot pixels, in this image. And we're going to compare it. There's an interesting one there. We're going to compare it to what the ZWO looks like. And I do have this concern about this whole row of dead pixels here. But let's get at the same size here. This is the QHY version. And this one is the ZWO version. Now you can see I've got quite a bit of brightness over here in the corners here. I don't have any real amp glow, but I do have significant brightness. Now as I move up to a 10-minute exposure, it will get significantly brighter. So I typically don't want to take images much brighter than, 4 or 5 minutes with that particular camera. But this is the ZWO image, and you can see where it got significantly brighter. But also look at these diagonal lines that came in, which is the hint of our glow that's about to show up. Now let's look at the QHY on a larger scale here. Zoom in. Let's make it about the same size. And let's take it over to that same edge and take a look. And we have no brightness, no lines coming in. It's just pretty well even all the way across until I get to that row on the left side. Okay, I will be contacting QHY about this because honestly at this price point I would not expect to see that. So we'll get some answers from them and I'll let you know what they have to say about it. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all of your time. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe below, hit that little alert bell so you know when I upload new Astro related material. And please, please share this with all of your Astro friends because we are at a goal here. We are working to get 5,000 subscribers as fast as we possibly can. And when I do, I'm going to have a special giveaway for you. Now, I already have a couple committed prizes. I'm going to leak one out to you now. It's really kind of cool. It is from Deerlick Astronomy Village, my favorite place to go, and you guys could come out and see me, but they are donating 2 2 family memberships for the year for one of you that sign up with me. Now, in the next few videos, I'm going to wrap my head around everything and figure out how to accomplish all this, but I am working diligently on it. I'm working with Altair, I'm working with Lancy and Sky, and I'm trying to get something special just for you. So let's keep subscribing, share with all your friends, okay? And help me reach that goal quickly. I truly would appreciate it. So that's all I've got for you guys this week. And until the next video, I love each and every one of you. I wish you great health and clear skies, and I will see y'all real soon. I love you. Goodbye.